Alright, so once you get in Blender, what you want to do is select the cube and delete the cube, and then Shift A, go to Mesh, and add in a circle, and then tab into Edit Mode, and then Extrude Up with E, and then press Z to lock it on the axis, right? And then just keep moving it up however tall you want the cup to be. And I think that's going to be pretty good right there. So now if that's not good enough for you, just press G to grab and then lock it on the axis again and bring it up or down. So I'm probably going to go with like right there. That looks good. And now after you're done with that, press S and scale it out a little bit, however much you want it to be. I think that's really good for a cup. I like it. I mean, it's scaled out good enough. Okay, but before you continue on, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into object mode and shade this smooth right away. Okay, and then you're going to want to come over here to object data properties. You're going to want to go down to normals and select auto smooth. Okay, so just have it smoothed out and have auto smooth on down here. Okay, anyways. Okay, so now what you want to do is start working on the bottom. So we're going to go back into edit mode. You can do it this way or you can tab. Just showing you your options here. So, okay, right now, what you want to do is just press and hold Alt and then click the edge loop. It'll select all the vertices all the way around and it won't select the top. Okay. So now what you want to do is press E to extrude and then S to scale it in however much you want. You can hold Shift to go slower or faster. So I think right about, hold on, I think right about maybe a little bit more. No, probably like right there is good. Okay, now what you want to do is press E again and then press Z to extrude and then lock it on the Z axis to move it up. Okay, so you want to do that. And then what you want to do is you want to press E again, scale it in a little bit. Okay, however much you think it should be. Look at it, and then E, and then Z again to scale it up and in. Now, okay, so now what you want to do is E to extrude, S to scale it in a little bit more. Oopsies. S to scale it in. Probably like right there. And then press F to fill in the face, and then press I to inset, and then bring it in. Give yourself some room, and then just press and hold Control and bring it up. So this could be like a place where you put your logo. But anyways, I like the way that turned out. So let's see. Okay, that's what that looks like. It looks really nice. But like I said, make sure you have auto smooth on and make sure you smooth this ahead of time. So auto smooth and shade smooth ahead of time before you even start getting into any details like at the bottom. So there you go. You got the bottom here. Now for the top part, what we're going to do is we're going to go into edit mode. You can just tab back into edit mode too. So there's that. Press Control and R at the same time. And you're going to want to add a loop. So there's a loop right there. You can add it vertical or horizontal. But just go ahead and go horizontal. And you can actually roll your mouse wheel up or down or forwards or backwards to, decide on how many loops you want. But for this, just one loop. Bring it up here. And probably like right there is going to be a good enough lip. So that's good. I like the way that looks. So now what you can do is you can select both of these. So Alt, hold Shift and Alt, and click both of these. And now press E and then S to scale it out, to extrude out. right? And I like the way that looks. It's all connected. It looks really nice. Cool. Awesome. Sweet. So that looks good. So I'm going to keep that. Okay, so you're right here now. But you have this gap on the inside, right? So you want to get rid of that. So you hold Shift and Alt, and then click these edges, okay? Now, instead of just pressing F and hoping that those faces are going to fill where you want to, like that, see, that's not going to work out. So Control Z off this, if you did what I did, and then what you actually want to do is press and hold Control and then press F, and then go to Fill. Okay, now these are filled as tries. You probably want to fill them as quads. So in order to do that, Control and F again, and then go up to tries to quads. There you go. Boom. That part's done. So now you have the top part done. That looks good. And if you don't really like how there's a little bit of a lip right there on the top part, what you actually can do is you can alt click this and then press G and then press Z to lock it on the Z axis and then bring it down. However much you want. If you want it like more flat, whatever you want, right? So that's cool. And now you see this isn't smooth. So what you actually can do is just go back into object mode, shade smooth, boom, you're done. You already have auto smooth normals on, so you're good. This all looks right. You're fine. Everything looks nice. Cool. Okay, so before we continue, what I would like you to do is just click on the object, and then go to Set Origin to Geometry. Okay, just bring that up. Make sure it's set up. Now, the reason why that's red, I'm going to show you right now, just so you can make sure your normals are right. So when you add modifiers, and when you do Boolean cuts and you use exact, that it's going to work right away. You're not going to have any problems. So first of all, you're going to want to come up here to Edit, and then go to Preferences, and then go to Themes, and then you're going to want to go down to 3D Viewport, and you're going to want to come down to, where was it? Okay, yes, come down here to face orientation back and face orientation front. So this one, keep it like that. This one, bring the alpha all the way down. Okay, after you do that, say auto save preferences or save. Once you're done, exit here so that way it saves. Now what you want to do is you want to select this object and go into edit mode, right? And you're going to want to come over here and turn on face orientation. Okay, and if your object is red on the outside and blue on the inside, well, then that's a problem. So what you want to do is, now that you're in edit mode, you want to press A to select all. Then you come over here to mesh, and then you want to go down to normals, and then select flip normals. Mine flipped to red because they were already done. They were already blue. Anyways, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to flip mine. Also, shortcut is Alt in, but I'm just showing you right now. So I'm going to flip these back. Okay, so now when the normals are right, this won't be blue. And when the normals are wrong, then they'll be red. But I mean, if the red is on the inside of the object, you're good. So anyways, now that that's over with, we can continue on to creating the rest of the cup. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a face on the inside. So we're going to select all of these. First, make sure you have the edges to make it easier on yourself. So just hold shift and then click around the edges. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, now if you do that, press F. Okay, so you filled this. So now you're ready to go again. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to select this top part and you want to press P and separate by selection. So this is its own part now too. So there you go. Real quick, tab into object mode, and then select the main cup, and now tab back into edit mode, press Ctrl R, create another loop, and then just bring the loop like a little bit above this part right here, the bottom part, and then just press F. Okay, now that there's a face created, after we do like all the beveling down here, we're gonna separate this bottom piece, and that'll be like a good place to separate, because the bottom is gonna have a different texture than the rest. So I'm gonna toggle this off. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the circle opening. We're gonna create the opening up here at the top. That's what we're gonna do. So Shift A. Well, first of all, tab into edit mode now, and you can do that up here. And now press Shift A and add a circle. Now press G and then Z to bring it up. Okay, now there you go. So now press 7 to bring yourself to the top down view and scale this in a little bit. Why do you think the opening should be? Probably like right there. Then G and then Y. Bring it closer to the lip. I think that's going to be good. Now tab into edit mode. Check this. Okay, and then go to vertices up there. Okay. So now what we're going to do, go back to 7. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start scaling some of these vertices in so we can create that opening for the cup. So select these, shift click, hold shift and click both of those vertices. Press S and then X just to be sure to scale in on the X axis. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing over here. SX. Same thing. Scale, lock on the X axis. Same thing. Oops. Just locking on the X to be sure. If you're already in the top-down view, it's not going to move it out, but just to be sure, you know, it's good to just lock it on an axis if you can. That's probably good right there. Okay, now just select these and delete them. Get rid of them completely. Like this, select this, press F. You're going to connect them right there. And now when you look at it, you can see that it's pretty good. If you want this to be smoother, it's best to make it smoother right now. So if you don't like how sharp this is right here, then just top down view, start, you know, fixing it up. So G to grab and then Y, you know, bring it in a little bit, make it more circular. If you want it to be smoother, what you can do is just press A and then right click and subdivide, and now you have more control. So like for instance, if you wanted this to be a little bit rounder, well, we can fix that right now. So select these, then S, X, scale it out a little bit. Select these, hold shift, S, X, scale it out a little bit. Select these, S, X, scale it out a little bit. This one right here, S, X, scale it out a little bit. Everything else looks pretty good. 7. Just make sure you lock it on the axis if you're not going to be straight up and down in the view. Select these. SX, scale it out a little bit. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Gonna select this one, and we're gonna actually press G on this one and then Y. Scale it back a little bit. Okay, so that's looking good. Just to make sure none of them are off the axis, we're gonna just look around it. Looks good. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to press A and then press E and then Z and just move it down a little bit. Now remember, red is okay if it's on the inside. Not if it's on the outside. If it's on the outside, remember you gotta select all, go to mesh, and then normals and flip them. But that's not what I want to do because they're already good. So I'm gonna go back on that. Control Z to go back quickly. Control Shift Z to go forward. So if you made a mistake, you can roll it back. If you made a mistake about making a mistake, you can roll it forward. So anyways, I'm gonna select the object again, and I'm going to actually make faces on both sides, and I'm gonna press A, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tab into object mode, select the object, then I'm going to set the origin to geometry. I'm gonna shade this smooth, and just auto smooth right now, just to make it look good. It'll be fine. So okay, so now what we need to do is we need to go down, so G, Z, bring it down into where you want to make the cut. So G, Z, more. It's gonna be around right. G, Z, a little bit up. So it's just the face, so we can cut it, no problem, it'll be fine. Just make sure it's gonna cut through the whole thing. We're going to select this object, the lid. We're going to come over here to boolean, and we're actually going to go to fast, and we're going to select this. Okay, and we're going to apply that in the shape of this. So we're going to move this out of the way for now. And as you can see, edit mode. Okay, so as you can see, there's an even edge here and an even edge here, but that's going to be fine because you're just going to use the top for a very consistent texture for this, so there's no worries about that. So okay, so that looks good, right? So I have that, it's origin to geometry, good, and everything is nice. This is nice. We're gonna set the origin to geometry on this one too. That's set. This is set. Okay, now we're done here. If you want to get rid of this over here, you can just press H, and if you want it, like, if you want to get rid of it without deleting it, if you want, you can just delete it, but I'm just gonna hide it for now, just in case I might want to use it for something else in the future. So this is how this is turning out for right now, and this is pretty good.